So now let's proceed to Musharaka and then Mudaraba. Musharaka and Mudaraba are two partnership contracts mentioned in AAOIFI standards. In brief, Musharaka is where two or more parties put their capital and make it a profit sharing venture. In Mudaraba, it's one party putting the capital and then other party managing the venture. In the party putting the capital, we call him Rabbul Mal, and the other party we call him Mudarib. Now, one of the most important part in Musharaka and Mudaraba is to understand the profit and loss mechanism, because this is where a lot of things will be dependent, and in terms of permissibility, etc., all will be based on this. So first and foremost, the profit sharing ratio needs to be determined. It has to be very well specified. It has to be understood by the parties and acknowledged by the parties and agreed upon. What does it mean by profit sharing ratio? So profit sharing ratio is a specific percentage of profit. Profit means after getting the revenues, we deduct all direct expenses from it, and we look at what is remaining. If the capital is intact, so anything above the capital is profit. Let's say we have a revenue of $10,000 and we have the capital was, let's say, $5,000. So from $10,000, we first deduct the direct expenses. Let's say direct expenses is $2,000. So 10 minus 2 makes it 8. Then we look at our capital. Is the capital intact? So 8 minus 5, yes, capital is intact, and we have another $3,000. So that $3,000 is profit. Now, what we can agree upon is an X percentage of that profit. So let's say 50% of that profit. So it will make it 50% of 3,000, which is 1,500. We cannot fix a lump sum amount as profit. We cannot say, okay, my profit sharing ratio is $1,500 per annum per year. We cannot say that. We cannot even say X percentage of capital. Just like ROI is expressed, return on investment is expressed. We cannot say that as well. Because whenever we say X percentage of the capital in a partnership contract, it immediately makes it a riba, because it's a fixed amount guaranteed. So that makes it a riba, that makes it like a loan. So those are the things we cannot do. We can have variable profit sharing ratio, by the way. What does it mean is, let's say in year 1, we have 50-50 from the profit. In year 2, it's 60-40. In year 3, it is 30-70. We can have that way, no problem. As long as there is no room or there is no such method which deprives one of the partners completely from participation in profit. For example, we are saying that, okay, we have, let's say, a Musharaka where we have 3 different businesses running on. And we are saying, okay, let's do this mechanism. If there is a profit from business A, then it goes to you. If there is a profit from business B, then it goes to me. Now, what is the consequence of this condition? Maybe the profit is only there from business A, so the other party will be deprived. Or maybe the profit is only in business B, so in that case, the other party will be deprived. So this is something that we have to be always mindful about. Second condition is the one who is a sleeping partner. By the way, who is a sleeping partner by definition? Sleeping partner is one who puts in the agreement that he will not be involved in work. That's the one who is sleeping partner. If there is nothing in the agreement, or he doesn't mention that he will not work, or he mentions that he will work, in such cases, we may not consider him as a sleeping partner. Now, for sleeping partner, we cannot give him profit sharing ratio more than a capital contribution ratio. So, for example, it's a venture of $10,000 where 2 parties come together, put 5,000 each. So we have a capital ratio of 50%, 50%. But let's say person A or partner A, he is also a working partner. He is also managing, putting his time and effort. Partner B, he chooses to be a sleeping partner. He will not be involved in the work anymore. Now, can we give partner B 51% profit? We cannot. The 50% profit we give him is in exchange of 50% capital that he has put. Now, what is that additional 1% in exchange of? He's not putting any work. He's not taking any additional liability. Hence, we cannot do that. But for this person, the partner who is also working, we can give him up to 99%, as long as there is a profit sharing for the other partner as well. Now, if you go for Mudaraba, in Mudaraba, it's always two parties, one party putting the capital, other party managing it. So the party managing it is the working partner, the party putting the capital is working partner by default, is sleeping partner by default. So for the sleeping partner, for the working partner, since he is not putting any capital, we can give him from 1% to 99%, no issue. And for the sleeping partner also, we can give him from 1% to 99% because he is putting 100% capital. But we cannot give him 100% capital, 100% profit, because if we are giving him 100% profit, then it is no longer a Mudaraba. It will be just normal, like his own venture, whereby the Mudarib is just working for him and we have to pay him some salary or something. So I hope this is well understood. If you understand this very well, then all other things here will be very much clear. Now, profit, I already explained that it has to be calculated after all direct expenses. It has to be distributed after actual or constructive valuation. So, for example, in traditional days, how would you calculate profit? You would have to liquidate the entire business, get all the things converted into cash, then you know exactly how much you have. But today, a business is usually continued for a number of years, sometimes even for centuries. Then how we calculate profit is by constructive valuation. So end of the financial year, we value the assets that we have. We value the fixed assets. We value this cash and everything. We get the total assets. So based on those constructive valuation, we can know exactly how much we have expense, how much we have revenue, and what is the profit. So after constructive valuation is where profit is realized, and we have to distribute the profit accordingly. Okay, profit distributed based on expectation. In IFIs, you will see if it's a Mudaraba savings account, for example. In many countries, the deposit side uses Mudaraba agreement. So let's say there is a Mudaraba savings account, Mudaraba fixed deposit account, Mudaraba blah, blah, blah account deposit. And the IFI is distributing or disbursing provisional profit or expected profit mid of the year, for example. Now that is fine. However, end of the year or when there is a constructive valuation, it has to be settled. It has to be settled against the actual profit made. So if, let's say, IFI has already given more profit than it made actually, then it has to take it back, the additional amount. If it has paid lesser than what actually was made, then it has to top up. So that's what we are saying here. Loss shall always be proportionate to capital contribution ratio. Please remember that. Loss cannot be tweaked, customized, agreed upon otherwise. If someone has put 50% capital, by default, he has to bear 50% loss. The other party cannot agree that I will bear the loss, don't worry. The moment other party is saying, I will bear the loss, it makes it a capital guarantee. And the moment a partner guarantees the capital of another party, it immediately makes it a loan, not a capital anymore. Because capital is prone to loss. Loan is not prone to loss. Loan is guaranteed. So it makes it a loan. Now one can say, okay, fine, so what? The moment it makes it a loan, and we give him any benefit, additional benefit attached to it contractually, it makes it riba. It makes it prohibited. And this is why you can find in AAOIFI standards that the mudarib cannot provide capital guarantee. In Musharaka, the partner cannot provide capital guarantee. This is the same reason why a capital guarantee cannot be provided. So please remember that loss will always be proportionate to capital contribution ratio. Now, let me ask you, in Mudaraba, we know that the Rabbul Mal is putting 100% capital. Now, who will bear the loss based on this principle? Rabbul Mal, because he is the one who has put the capital. Now, one may argue, what if the Mudarib is someone who has cheated, who has made it a fraud or something? Now, there is a ruling for those cases as well. Shari'ah is not, the rulings are not with big holes in there. Of course, alhamdulillah, there are 360-degree rulings there. So in case a Mudarib or anyone with agency role, who are the ones who have agency role, or sorry, a trust-based role? So we have Mudarib, we have the working partner in Musharaka, we have the agent in Wakala, we have the working partner, Mudarib, agent. Yeah, all three of them has sort of agency role and trust-based role. So all those people or individuals or companies or entities who has this trust-based role, they are not liable for loss that happen naturally without the negligence, misconduct, or breach of contract. But if there has been a loss due to their misconduct, so as I mentioned, the fraud, the cheating, etc., or due to their negligence, or due to their breach of contract, in that case, they will be liable for the loss. Now, what is a loss? Loss is a loss of capital. Remember that. When there is a capital loss, he will be liable to top up until the security of the capital. So if there was a $10,000 capital, then he has to top up until 10,000. But he is not liable to top up for the profit. Let's say initially he mentioned that there could be an expected profit of 7%. Now there was a loss because of his negligence. Now, is he liable to give that profit as well? No, because there was no profit. If there was profit, there was no loss. If there is a loss, then there is no profit. It's as simple as that. So he will only be liable to give the profit only. Capital, up to the capital as well only. Now one may argue this opens a whole room of negligence, etc., for the Mudarib. Yes, it is true. And this is why when we do Mudaraba, Musharaka, or any kind of partnership, there has to be a basic due diligence in process. While we are choosing the partner, we are choosing the Mudarib. We know that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was chosen and appointed as a Mudarib by his future wife Ummul-Mu'minin Khadija radiallahu anha, right? Why did she choose the Prophet ﷺ? Not because he was a big businessman within that time, but rather he was Amin. He was the person with integrity, with amana. So that's the basic quality that we need to look for when we're looking for partners. Of course, we also need to see if he is skilled with the business or the type of work that is required for this type of Mudaraba Musharaka. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. The point is, capital cannot be guaranteed. If there is a loss, the Mudarib, the agent, the Sharik, working partner, will be liable only if there is negligence, misconduct, or breach of contract. And the liability is up to the recovery of capital, not profit. All right. This session was brought to you by TAIF and Adl. If you have benefited from it, please share in your social media platforms about both the entities and share the word. Spread the word. Jazakumullah khairan.